Hopefully we don't get stuck and drowned. We should be able to just motor through, I hope. Depends on if the UTV, got stuck, spun his tires out.
Ride on, Jewel. Let your spirit be free. With the wind at your back and the whole
I told you I knew where I was.
Jewel. Let your heart be your guide. In the depths of the thunder, it's your rant and your ride.
So today's afternoon adventure is I'm gonna head over to Dorado Canyon on the China bike. Don't kill anybody while I'm gone, okay? All right, because I won't be able to hide them until I get back. All right, so so we're gonna go over there. The temperature, according to the weather report, is 91 degrees, so it's not as hot as when I went out on my dirt bike. It was 94-ish on the gas. But you know, there's been multiple conversations on Facebook, motorcycle riding posts, where people are asking if people are riding in the heat and how they deal with it. You know, I've made videos about this. I've posted videos about this. I don't think very many people get it. Okay, so I have a 3-liter pressurized water bag. All right. And the best thing to do with this is to fill it up with water and put it in your fridge overnight if you know you're going out on a hot ride. Then, because the water is already cold, this water is not cold. So then you fill, you know, you take about 1/3 of the water out and fill the rest of the reservoir with ice. And if you're making a long distance ride, every time you stop to get gas, you go to the soda machine and refill your hydration pack. Right, with ice. Now, what I'm going to do, because I didn't put this water in the fridge overnight, while I finish getting ready, you know, I'm going to do a quick chill. I'm going to put it in the freezer, you know, while I finish getting ready. So your hydration pack, cold water, either fill half or 1/3 of it with ice. Every time you stop for gas, you refill it with ice. You you wear a skull cap. And you can get double layer skull caps. This one isn't a double layer. It's double layer around the brow. But you get a double layer skull cap. A single layer works. It just dries out quicker. So, you know, every 30 minutes or so, if the temperature's in the 90s or reaching close to 100, every 20, 30 minutes, you pull over and you water down your skull cap. Like I said, I've got a pressurized water bladder. I think that's really important. But this is the most important part of dealing with riding in the heat. If you can keep your head cool, your body can take the heat for the most part. But you got to keep your brain from frying. So ice cold water, you put it on, you're moving along at 20, 30, 40 miles an hour. It's like air conditioning. You know, for 15 minutes, it's going to cool your head off. Another 15 minutes, you're going to start heating up. You pull over and do it again. You know, you just soak it. I usually put water in there and squeeze it together so it's not dripping all over the ground, and put it back on. You're ready to go. Yeah, so here's the routine, if I can get anything to work right now. Okay, weather is 94 degrees. All right, 94. Okay, so to follow up, I'm going on a kind of a short ride. I mean, over to El Dorado. I haven't charged this battery in 2 months. I probably won't get very far into El Dorado, and I'll be turning around. We'll just see how it goes. But here is the routine that I explained to you. 94 degrees, I have a skull cap on. I have ice water, right? With the squirt pack, you could see that. All right, so there's Best in the Desert race marker. So, yeah, I don't think they've run it yet. I don't think. But we'll see. I'll be able to tell maybe up ahead. I didn't look it up. And this year they're running it from Dayton to Beatty or Vegas, you know, Reno to Vegas, but it goes from Dayton here. Starts here, and they're running it that way this year. So I'm not sure if they already ran it. I don't think so. Otherwise, I think the sign would be down. But it's coming soon. Alrighty, so this is the steep S turn coming up where they gotta go down. And not super steep, but steep and S turns. So they're gonna go down there, cross through the creek, and then climb the other side. They've got people out here, so maybe that's to keep people from pre-running it. I don't know. So I don't think they raced it yet. Not sure, but all right, so it's like 94, 95 degrees. It's been about 15, 20 minutes since I left my house. So I'm gonna get down here. It's a little rough in here. I'm gonna get down here to where there's a little bit of shade. And then, like I said, you know, I'll wet down my skull cap again because I can start to feel my head is heating up, right? So when you feel your head is heating up, and you should be able to recognize that, you know, not by getting dizzy, that's too far, right? But you can feel it getting hot. Okay. So, you know, I'm going to take off my helmet, pull my skull cap out, wet it down, right, with my water bottle. Ice cold water, you don't gulp it, you sip it. Alrighty. Alright, so took off my skull cap. You know, it wasn't actually dry all the way yet, so as long as it has moisture, it's still wicking away the heat. Okay. So, you know, I put ice cold water back in it for the moment. It's gonna be chilling, but you know, for the last 20-25 minutes from my house, it still didn't dry all the way out. It's close, but it still had moisture in it. I could feel it. And so, you know, as long as you keep your head cool, hydrated, I mean, you can sip water. And that's how I sustain. So the other things I would tell you on a long ride through the desert, I don't always do. I mean, if I'm traveling to Beatty or Vegas, I do that. You may want to carry an extra bladder just in case you were to spring a leak. You wouldn't want to lose all your water. You want to transfer it to another bladder. You know, either from falling over on your bike, you can land on your backpack and cause a seam rip or something. The other thing is carry a small tarp. You know, you get a 4x4 tarp with some paracord or some nylon string. So if something happens to your bike and you gotta call for help and you're in the desert, you can create some shade next to your motorcycle and get out of the direct sun. Still gonna be hot, but you're not gonna be baking like a potato, right? All right, so the mouth of El Dorado. Like I mentioned, I haven't ridden this bike for about a month and a half to 2 months. And so you can see my battery bars are only at 2 bars, and that was just coming 5 miles, so they just dropped like a rock. They're fluctuating. So we're not going very far. You know, I should have threw it on the charger this morning and got some charge on it. But really what I wanted to do was just talk about, you know, how to deal with the heat when you're riding. Which is important. You know, I've been doing that for 40 years, right? I've been riding in the desert. And I like riding in the desert. It could be very dangerous, right? So you can use and consume all your water, and you can still be 30 miles or more out in the desert and in rough terrain where you're going to exert energy to get to some place with water. That's why you got to be a good rationer of your water. I have run out of water before. The other thing is I have taken off early in the morning, heading towards Tonopah. I got all the way outside of Fallon. I think it was approximately about 9 a.m. It was already 90-something degrees, and I hadn't drank any water up to that point. I also didn't stop and water down my skull cap. So riding along, I didn't feel any effects of the heat until I stopped my bike to open a gate, and when I got off my bike I was all dizzy and disoriented. So right there I made a decision to turn around and go back to the nearest shade I could get to and sit down and rehydrate. You know, I had the water, but I wasn't using it for about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of the first part of the ride, and it was already in the 90s. So you can be riding along feeling all good, but when you get off your bike, take a few steps, you'll realize, whoa, I'm getting dehydrated, a little bit dizzy here. So, and I didn't continue on. I had a long ways to go before I was going to hit anything called civilization, right? Even though I had a full backpack full of water, I still had long ways to go. Long ways. I mean, we're talking 100 miles, probably. About 100 miles towards Tonopah before I'd get to another rehydration place. And there's not much shade out there. You're in the desert. So, you know, a couple of old structures. I mean, really minimal shade. So anyway, I backtracked. So those are the things, you know, you got to watch for. It's always can be a dangerous situation fast. If you get hurt out there, right? Even though you got water and you got to push your emergency button, hopefully you can make shade with a tarp while you wait for someone to come. You know, it's all kind of iffy. You're always taking a chance, you know, when you're out riding, especially by yourself. But anyway, so we won't probably go very far. You know, if it drops to 1 bar, I'm flipping around because I got to get up this hill out of here. I could probably pedal home once I get up to the rodeo grounds, but yeah. Anyway, hallelujah. All right, so about 2 months since I've been in here. I haven't come to any water yet. And there's not very many years that you come into El Dorado and there's no water. You know, there's one place that I expect there to be water because there's almost always water there. I'm watching for snakes too, because they won't always rattle if it's a rattler. Come on, bike. But, you know, like I've said in the past, I've only come through here once in the past where there was only that one spot with water. Looks like this might be the same situation. Yep, I'm on 2 battery bars now. So like I said, I gotta go down here and see if there's any water. And so we'll see if there's any water in that place where there usually is. And we might be turning around after that. Okay. Woo! So this is where my video from a year ago when I got a flat tire and had to push this out. I wasn't carrying an extra tube. I believe it was this spot right here, right down there. I almost stepped on a rattlesnake. Didn't make any noise. Then it crawled up in those bushes. Okay. Alrighty. So really, on a bicycle, even though it's pedal assist, you're exerting more energy than sitting on a motorcycle. You know, the motorcycle, it takes, you exert energy, right? Leg strength, arm strength. But you're moving just a little bit faster on a motorcycle and creating a breeze. Alrighty. The water should be right up here. We'll see if it's here. And then that's about it. I think we'll be flipping her around. There you go. There's the water. Yeah. There's the water. We should just ride through it. That'll feel good. Cool off. Ow, ow. Gee, this got tore up. Gee, the bushes. I think I gotta bring something in here to cut these bushes down. Cause I'm getting all scratched up and I don't like that. Sticker bushes. Someone cut that out. Woohoo! Okay. Right, El Dorado's nice because you do get shade all over the place. Yep. All right, so another spot of water up here. Okay. And these boulders get all rearranged when the UTVs come through here. Woo! It's about time for some more. Skull cap watering. Yeah, it's down to one battery bar. So I think we're gonna flip her around. It's fluctuating. So it's going between 1 and 2 battery bars, and that's it. I put my rack on so I could carry my paddleboard, and I got a ton of old license plates, and I'm like, well, I'll use one for a mud guard, because always when I come in here I usually splatter my back with mud. So not today. All right, so I didn't get a full ride in El Dorado, a full one as to the cave and back. So I don't even think I got halfway to the cave. You know, I didn't charge my battery for the last 2 months, so that's my bad. But I would like to hear from anybody who got anything out of this video as far as being able to deal with heat while riding mountain bikes or motorcycles, or if you just think this 69-year-old dude's got a death wish. All right? So, you know, some of you just think he's crazy. So a couple other things. You know, I've got what's called a Life Straw Flex. So it's a collapsible bottle with a straw, filtered straw in it, right? So you can put that in your backpack. And wherever you find water, even as ugly as it looks, you know, you can put that in there, and it's supposed to filter out 99.9%, right? So you still have hydration. Gosh, I was going to say something else, and I lost it. Besides the Life Straw. I'll think of it in a minute. But we'll turn the camera on here soon. Let's get this thing back out of here. You know, it shows 2 bars. It's like probably 1 bar. It'll be enough to get me out to the road. I might have to pedal it back home. We'll see. I'm videotaping this just because I love this part. Always like coming through here with the overgrowth. Pretty cool. And I'm not getting water at my back because I got that license plate on there. That's not the line I wanted. Dodo hit. I wanted this one. I want this line. Thank you. Lizards, lizards. Yeah. Right on. Nice. Okay, well, after sitting for 2 months, my rear motor was making horrendous noise, kind of like my daughter's bike, but seems like it's quieted down now after a little bit of riding. Sounds normal. Okay, we gotta go through the bushes again. Maybe I'll ride through the water. Okay. So, yeah, we're just gonna... Hopefully we don't get stuck and drowned. We should be able to just motor through, I hope. Depends on if the UTV, got stuck, spun his tires out. Yep. Couple of deep spots, yep. All right. I felt good though. Cool water. I shouldn't have any water on my back, but who knows? Alrighty. Well, yeah. Totally not getting any smoother in here in El Dorado any day soon. But I was happy to see there's still a little bit of water where you always expect to see some water. A lot of times there's a little bit of water in here, but it's all dried up. See, and now we got a breeze, so that breeze going through my helmet is feeling like air conditioning. Yep, it feels good. You know, you don't mind the wind blowing so much because it's like, oh yeah, nice, cool breeze. Alrighty, so we're to the mouth of El Dorado Canyon. Going out of here is uphill for maybe a quarter to a half mile. And I still show 2 bars. It fluctuates back and forth from 1 to 2 bars. Anyway, we'll do another El Dorado soon. Tomorrow we're doing another paddleboard video. Hopefully I can get some more standing on the board practice. The first day I had it, I did get up on the board and ride around for maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and it wasn't super smooth, so I was doing okay. The second time we went out at Lake Tahoe Cave Rock, it was pretty choppy, almost white caps. You'd see a white cap every now and then, but pretty choppy, so I only stood up for about, 20 seconds. But it was fun. So tomorrow maybe I'll get some more actual standing up on the board practice. And then Saturday, who knows, maybe back in El Dorado. I do want to try and get to Beatty this year, if I can. I mean, you know, my wrist jarred a couple of times and was kind of like owie, but, you know, it wasn't too bad. My water's still cold, but I think I can tell, you know, like the ice is probably melted. I put the ice in hot water, right? So the backpack was in my garage. It was, you know, 90 degrees out in the sun. And I put the third of the ice in my backpack, warm water. I did throw it in the freezer for 20 minutes while I got ready, but, you know, the water's still cold, but I think the ice is melted. But I think it's almost been 2 hours I've been out here, right? If I would have had my water in the refrigerator all night and then put a third of ice in there, I'd still have ice easily. Alrighty, so we're gonna climb out of here. Hallelujah. Alrighty. So I crawled all the way out of El Dorado Canyon, which was approximately 7 miles on 1 battery bar, and it didn't start flashing. I was taking it nice and slow, so I would get out on 1 battery bar. My water, I think, like I said, I don't know if I have any ice in my pack, but my water's still ice cold. So The water is still very cold. All right, so leave me some comments, and another successful 97, 98 degree weather ride. Hallelujah. Ha ha ha.